Hey FLOSSTUBE, Happy New Year. It's Leigh from Creative Leigh on January 2nd, 2022. We made it. Yeah, my first video back after a break for Christmas. 1 week, but it feels ages since I was on. And I just got home. It's just after midday. Just got home from dropping my dad at the airport, and I thought, you know what, let's get this FLOSSTUBE up. I've just got a bit of a haul and what I've stitched the last couple of weeks to show you, and then I'm gonna film tomorrow. I'm gonna film and get up a 2021 finish parade. No idea what I finished. If you quizzed me, I could maybe come up with 4 things. I can't even think. And then on Tuesday I'm gonna try and film a bonus video, a what's kitted up video, but that might take a few days to get filmed and get out, because there's going to be a lot of stopping and starting, and I want it to be a little bit slicker than my normal shambolic attempts at doing videos every week. But anyway, welcome to all my friends and subscribers. Welcome back, and to anyone new who stumbles upon this. Hey, I'm Leigh. I'm a FLOSSTUBER. I do YouTube videos mostly about cross stitch. I'm based in Upper Hutt in the Wellington region of New Zealand, and I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I'm pretty informal. I swear a little bit. There may or may not be charts with boobies in the future, so if you don't like any of that, that's fine. Move on. Otherwise, hang around and I'll show you pretty things, hopefully. So, reminder for you all, what is it, the 2nd? 16 days until I turn 50, and that's when 50 starts at 50 will start. And I still don't really have plans on how I'm going to manage that. I was going to have a new start yesterday. In fact, I did start one yesterday being the 1st of January. Hate the fabric. So I pulled out Mystic Moments 1, which was a chart gifted to me, a Heaven and Earth Designs chart gifted to me by Danny, Cardiff Stitches in Wales, and I hate the fabric. It's fine if I stitch, it's a Hardanger fabric, it's fine if I stitch 1 stitch at a time, because then they don't slip. I'm not stitching 300,000 plus stitches 1 at a time. I have huge blocks of colour in this thing around the border where I would just want to do rows there and back. I like the sewing method. If I can't use the sewing method, I won't stitch it. So I'm probably going to go back to 20 count Aida, so I need to source couple of meters of Aida for the 2 designs, because I also have Mystic Moments 2, the companion piece, to stitch sometime in the far future. So I'm gonna have to sort that out. So I don't actually have, I frogged 150 stitches or 130 stitches and went, you know what, I'll use this fabric for something else, or I'll give it away. It's not gonna make me happy after, the stitches were just awful. So, nice starts for the new year. Will I start something this next week before my 50 at 50? Maybe, I don't know. I can't really think. Further than getting the house cleaned up after Dad's gone, which will be tomorrow, getting these videos up, and just enjoying a few days off on my own before I go back to work next week. So there we go. I do have, with Dad here for Christmas, we did a whole lot of stuff. He did a lot. In fact, he probably did too much because he wasn't feeling very good today. He came down with vertigo last night, so I always book assistance for him because he can't walk long distances. So whenever we book flights, I just book the wheelchair assistant, so they take you to the gate. He usually can navigate stairs and stuff okay, but he came down with vertigo last night, which is not uncommon for him. He doesn't have it all the time, but he does get it. And I didn't want him navigating stairs, so I went and talked to the staff, and anyway, they boarded him first, so they took him away and got him on the plane. he'll be landing now. So, but anyway, that's Dad. So we did quite a lot. And then we watched quite a bit of cricket, and we did lots of little visiting and driving around. So we did lots of little things. But I did manage to do a little bit of stitching in the evenings, and one day it rained. There was one rainy day, we watched the cricket, and I just stitched the whole day. So I do have 3 more finishes. I'm down to 4 whips right now, which is amazing. Yeah, I've got 4 whips. I've got my Joan Elliott, I've got Sunset and Sunrise by Carolyn Manning Designs, and I've got Save the Stitches from Liz Armand, Blackwork Journey. I've got 4 whips, I've got 3 finishes that I managed to squeeze in by New Year's Eve. So we'll get to that in a minute, but I have had a few things come in. I had been waiting for quite a few packages pre-Christmas. At the moment with the holidays, I only have one. Basically, Thursday before Christmas, I had last Thursday was a mail day, and I don't have mail again till next Thursday. Still waiting for my November and now December Tom and Lily flosses from France. Fingers crossed at least November turns up next week, but you know, it's a weird time of year and COVID flights and all that. But I did have a few things come in finally. First up, I bought a handful of DMC Linen threads, just somebody was destashing, and I kind of have a couple of ideas about these. I've not actually used them. I do have some others, but I quite enjoy the challenge of getting a handful of random threads and making a project with them. So I have an idea. So here they are, they came in. So I bought them secondhand off the New Zealand Destash site, and there are lots of neutrals. This bundle is a combination of about 30 threads that I got online and through 4 or 5 that I got in my box of stuff from Gale. So there's all DMC Linen, quite a nice neutral palette. I've got an idea about something I might use these for. I don't know, I like a challenge. I also got Rainbow Club from Catherine. This fabric I'm going to use for either an ink circles design, either The Long Way Home or Panoply of Peacocks, or both. I'm not sure I've got quite enough fabric for both, but it's 40 count Newcastle. It's a fat quarter in Silver Fern. It's such a pretty colour. So that's the back side, and here's the, where's the blotch? There's the blotchy side. So it's probably a little washed out based on what I see. Sort of a very soft, sort of silvery, greeny blue. It's so pretty. So yeah, that will be used for one or other, or maybe both of those ink circles projects. And then at the same time, because most months I get my Silks for You clubs in the same package. So colour of the month, which is 4 by 15 metre skeins from the standard range. Colour of the month. So from this end, from the green end, we've got PR111. The pink is PR175. The sort of softer green is PR130, and the variegated is PR174. So that's that. That was colour of the month for, oh, I don't know what month. Crikey, November? Yeah, that was November's colour of the month. And then also got November Silk of the month, which is 5 by 10 metre skeins, kind of custom dyed or just dyed for the month. These are very bold. I'm not sure I'll ever use these. We'll see. I don't know, never say never. They are the kind of pink I don't love as just a colour on its own. These sort of bluey pinks, cool pinks. And they're just numbered they're just numbered November 21 from number 1 through to number 5. And finally, I paid a fortune for shipping and got the two 1, 2, 3 stitch orders that I had stuck in the system. I got them forwarded. They were on hold at 1, 2, 3 stitch, and with USPS. I don't know. Some people are getting mail through USPS. These were ordered before the cut-off. I mean, these were from August, and the cut-off was the 1st of October. But because they had not got out of the country, I think they got returned. So I paid a fortune for shipping and tax and everything for freight forwarding, but I have them. So I've got a yard of 40 count Zweigart Mallow or neutral, which I have several projects in mind for. So a big blanket of 40 count mallow. So you'll see some of this in the eventual kitting up video. And then I also got a fat quarter of Zweigart Dirty Linen in 32 count. This will be some of this, sort of almost half of it, will be for one of the drawn thread season gardens. I think it's, I don't know, might be autumn. Autumn. I think it might be autumn. Doesn't really matter. You probably won't see this. I'm not kitting this. Whatever this one's for, I'm not kitting that up yet. But this linen is never available. So when I saw it available, I just ordered it because I'm quite keen to do the called for. I got all of the silks I need for the drawn thread winter garden. So that's one that I do intend to start in as one of my 50 at 50. So it's a combination of MPIs and dinky dyes for this one. So I have all of them. I'm just going to show you them all. So the dinky dyes are here. So the autumn tone is very neutral. Sorry, the winter design is very neutral with a tiny bit of colour with these berry colours. And then there's a handful of MPIs. Now I know MPIs are a bit of a luxury because they're solid. So, you know, you could argue DMC would be fine. But the colours are different. They do have different colours. And I just want to do the drawn threads with the silks. And I got the Krennic and a bead pack that was outstanding for one of my 3 bewitching pixies. Again, that'll be in my kitted up video. Just some petite beads, Mill Hill beads, and very fine number 4 braid, 102L. So they were on my to get list, so I got them. And I got 2 charts that I've been wanting to get for ages, but whenever I went to order them, one was always out of stock. So finally they were both in stock at the same time, and that's Sunrise and Sunset from Rosewood Manor, and I love these designs. They are, I'm probably going to stitch these in all the called for because the colours are just beautiful, and there are lots of them. And some of them you need multiple skeins, so I wouldn't be able to sub from my one-off cottons or silks because I don't have enough when you need 2 skeins, and well, some of them you need 3 skeins. It's Sunset is all in Weeks Dye Works. They're all in Weeks Dye Works, but I just love the colours. I probably won't buy the... Oh, who knows? I said I probably won't buy the called for fabric, but it's hand dyed by Stephanie. So I'll see. I will. Yeah, I'll see. I might buy the called for fabrics because they are pretty. but at this stage they're not going to be kitted up for a while because the called for materials are both, there's a lot expensive, but I just wanted them, I'll kit them up slowly. So that's everything that came in the last, that all came in the last week. So, what have I been stitching? What have I finished? I finished 3 projects. So I'm going to show you what they are. First of all, I pushed through and I finished on the 29th of December, I finished the spot sampler, which was in the Cross Stitching magazine July 2020, which I got the chart off Readly. This is on a 32 count neutral linen. I don't know what, like sand or, it's not natural, it's just one of the paler ones. And I used mostly the called for DMC, but I did sub a couple. Here it is, isn't it bright? It's so much nicer. I don't know, if you're too close to it, it's a bit, but I think a little, that's that 2 foot rule or whatever it is. I like it. So cute little thing. What am I going to do with it? I have no idea. It'll go in the pile. I'm more likely to frame this myself than I would be to pay for framing for it, just because, it's not a heirloomy kind of piece. That was the spot sampler. I then, of course, the final pattern dropped on Thursday before New Year for the Peppermint Purple 2021 SAL, Blackwork SAL, and I finished that. I don't think I stitched it on the Thursday night, so I probably stitched this on, I might have done it the Thursday night actually, yeah, so I finished this on the 30th, which didn't take me very long. I haven't ironed anything, obviously, so just those bottom 3 rectangles were done and I'm very happy with it. So that is a finish for the year. I am not doing the SAL this year. They look really lovely, but I just don't need another one. And then I thought, you may recall the last video that I did, FLOSSTUBE number 105. I gave you a shock to everybody with the fact that I had sneakily started in Morison circa 1830 from Hands Across the Sea, doing my own silk conversion of 40 count parchment from Country Stitch. And I'd started on the 5th of December, but I'd forgotten to show you until 2 weeks ago. And then I talked about how I might personalise it to represent my family. Well, anyway, I just went ahead and did it. I finished it. I finished it in the evening on Friday. So, shall I show you and then talk through the personalisation? I'll hold it up against something. Again, it's very wrinkly and it's terrible. So yeah, there we go. So my own silk conversion on 40 count parchment, and there are some subtle changes where I added some stitches here and there and made some mistakes and worked around them, moved a few things to make them a bit more symmetrical. So how I personalised it, we're down here. So I've got my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, who are Roy and Joan Hall, and they were married in 1938. Because I figured they had these 2 initials here, which Anne Morison stitched this when she was 14, so I'm guessing they were her parents, and the initials were the kids, because I can't imagine at 14 she did a romantic sampler for herself. They don't know much about her, but yeah, so those are my parents, my grandparents. And then I put their initials, I put my grandmother's, her maiden name for here, because I've got that they're both, they're married down here. So we have Joan Doreen Ibbotson, and then my grandfather was Roy Malcolm Hall. And then I put all of their children, they had 7 children, and I just put their first initials, so I didn't put their surname because they would all be Hall, and I wanted to put, yeah, so that I've sort of put them in order, so of birth. So my Uncle Barry, so Barry Gordon, and then my Aunt Anne, so we have Margaret Ann, then Janet, and then the twins, my mum's and her twins, so Mara, I put Mari and Claire, they came next, then Lynn, and then Lawrence Harold is the youngest son. So I squeezed them in, and when I organise a frame and all that for this, I'm going to type up the family tree with just a little bit of information about that to go on the back of the sampler. So we have a record of who the initials are and stuff for posterity, I guess. I didn't date it because it's sort of irrelevant when I stitched it. The date I stitched it has nothing to do with this. I did just make my initials the charcoal colour up here, so I know it's up there. But yeah, I figured the 2021 didn't matter because it's all about them getting married at this time and then the children that they had. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And I like it. I like my colour changes. They're kind of, I guess, a little cooler than the charted. Ironic because I tend to like warmer colours, but for this, I mean, I stitched it with what I had. So, you know, I just picked colours and that's the colours that it became. But I think it just shows you, for anyone who's hesitant to change colours, if you forget about what the chart looks like, there's like no wrong. It is, and I think for me, this young girl, when she stitched this originally, she would have stitched it probably from what was available in her mother's work basket or what she could get her hands on. She didn't necessarily, you know, she wouldn't have had a choice of 500 shades of green and go, oh, this is the perfect green. It'd be like, this is a floss I have enough of. This red I have enough of. So don't, like if you feel, like I think people get nervous about changing colours and just, it's only stitches on cloth. Most things work. There's no wrong. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. So that is my final finish for 2021, which I finished at 4 o'clock on New Year's Eve. I was surprised how much I got in. It did help that we sat down and watched quite a bit of cricket, and I enjoy watching cricket with Dad. He gets very excited. So while we watched cricket, I could stitch. So I got a little bit more done than I expected. But that's it. That's my video. So finally a few new things in. And a couple of videos for me to do this week. As I said, I've got to go through and find where all my finishes are. And tomorrow I aim to do the finish parade, and then later on this week I aim to do the kit parade. They'll both be sort of bonus videos, very clear in the heading what they are. If neither of those things interest you, you don't need to watch them. You don't need to watch anything. Happy New Year. Take care, be safe, enjoy stitching, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.